being authentic in a world that is greatly inauthentic, not by nature, but by its inhabitants, by its people, by humans, the human world I'm referring to. How easy is that then, being authentic in such a world? How easy is it to speak your truth and actually know that this is your truth? Because you see, many times it's our own minds, most of the times actually, it's our own minds that deceive us in whether we speak our truth or not. Because we come here and we're brought up in environments and families that reflect back to us inauthentic ways of being. Our whole societal norms, rules, behaviors, acceptable behaviors are built on this inauthenticity. More often than not, truth and authenticity falls outside the societal norms, outside of what's proper. And I'm not talking about harmful behaviors, of course. I'm talking about free expression of who you are, of your emotions, of your inner world, your truths, things that you prefer, things that you don't prefer, relationships that may be in your life but you don't feel aligned with. Still, you feel restricted in a way. You feel unable to break those bonds. If you actually want to be authentic, know that that requires courage in today's society. It's not an easy task. I'm not saying that to imply that this is not possible. Actually, this is really needed. And the more people that follow that path, the better. And there are already people, more and more people that actually follow that path, choose to follow that path, no matter how hard or difficult or scary it may feel. I claim myself to be one of them. At least that's my intention. But I also need to acknowledge that if I want to be completely honest with myself, I don't succeed in it. Always. Many times I don't. No matter how aware you are, conditioning is really strong. And it's not all bad, right? When we're talking about conditioning, usually we want to ban it altogether, like everything is bad. No, of course. Some things you want to keep in your life and some things you don't. But this has to be a conscious choice based on what's true for you, or it feels aligned for you, because that's what truth is. What feels aligned with your inner world, with your spirit, and what nurtures and nourishes you, what is loving for you. And but that's the tricky part, because depending on your conditioning and your inner world at that moment, what feels loving or nurturing may still not be your truth. May still be inauthentic, and instead based on your conditioning or your emotional turmoil. This position I'm sitting is really uncomfortable. And catching yourself, catching your mind, deceiving yourself. Ouch. That's the only word I can find that describes the feeling. But this is where compassion plays a role. Self-compassion, self-acceptance, self-love, all of these that we usually so easily extend towards other people, to bring these closer to you and towards yourself. We need to accept we're imperfect. Authenticity goes hand in hand with imperfection. We need to accept that we will never be perfect in all shapes or forms. And that beauty, truth, love lies in our imperfections as individuals, as beings of nature, and by extension, as society. But the thing is that we need to embrace that not inauthenticity, embrace this imperfection in order for authenticity to take place and create more aligned and loving societies for all. We usually expect that this should start from somewhere else. We expect our society to change without us having to do that. But what is society? Who is the society? Isn't it you? Isn't it me? If I don't choose to change, if I don't choose to speak my truth, how can I expect society to become different, better? I need to evolve so that society will follow at some point. And the good part is that not all parts of the society need to evolve at the same time or at the same pace for something to change. I can still choose to take my part in that, though. At least be honest with yourself. Be honest when you're right. Be honest where you're wrong. Be honest about how you feel, about your relationships, your job, your surroundings, how you feel with yourself. Just be honest. You don't have to express that to someone else. Just express it to yourself. But that's the scary part. Usually you're afraid to express that to yourself even. But you can do that. Believe me, you're stronger than that. You can do that. It's just a matter of choice, of choosing it. Because of course you can say, no, I'm okay. I'm not gonna go through this process. And you don't have to if you don't choose for it. It's a choice. In the end of the day, everything is a choice. I chose to sit like that. This was not the best choice. But I laugh it out, and it's a good thing. And you can have this view as well. It's not a matter of taking everything so seriously, right? It's quite serious, but we can be relaxed about it. We can enjoy the process. It's not like, oh, I need to speak my truth. I need to make that more authentically for something to change. I need to take on the burden or the responsibility. If you're about to do that, at least do it consciously and because it means something for you. And it's important for you. And it's important to you. Don't do it just for the sake of someone else. Anyway, we do nothing for the sake of anyone else. Even though it feels like that sometimes, it's always for us in the end. We always have some gain out of that, no matter how painful. Always, every action, every choice serves us in some ways, and serves us in a positive way. Otherwise, we would never have chosen for it. So at least know you always have a choice, right? Whether you want to remain passive in this change that takes place in our world lately, or be an active participant. It's your choice. It doesn't make you inauthentic if you choose it consciously. At least own your truth, that this is what you're choosing. Have a great day.